Overthinking and anxious thoughts can lead to so many bad things for you, and it can practically ruin your life. Like, oh, this person's thinking about me, that person is talking about me over there. All of that stuff that's going on in your head and you're ruminating on and you're thinking about over and over again, it is not good for you, sweetheart. Like, I literally was an overthinker. I would think that, you know, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. And, you know, as a mom, first of all, let me just state, as a mom, overthinking is like the one main thing that keeps, in my opinion, a mom's productivity going. Like, we have like 5 different calendars, 2 different planners, and a lunch menu in there. And overthinking is just our way of processing of what we have to do before we actually get to that point. And also, like, you know, if you do send your kid off to school, you have all of these negative overthinking thoughts, like, what if my kid gets hurt? What if, you know, the school sets on fire? That was me. That was me. What if this person doesn't like me? I think that if I make this choice and this decision, they're going to talk about me. That was my life. Then that is just not healthy, because no one knows you. That's my first point. No one really knows you. They just know an experience that they had with you. There is so many parts of you that they just probably don't even know. You know, you don't share your whole life with the whole world. There is what you think you are, there is what people think you are, and there is, like, you know, the real bubble of who you actually are. But what I'm saying is, like, if, like, let's just take, for example, like this video, right? This video, you could think, oh my gosh, that girl just ruined my life. I don't know what to do now. Now I'm even more overthinking this situation because she's pulling out negativity. Or one person could think, oh wow, this information that she gave me, like, really just saved me. I'm going to implement these things and I'm going to start doing these things in my life because I want to not be an overthinker, and she just gave me the tea. You know, there's just so many different, like, perspectives of people, and perspectives is what people think, and perspectives are a person's understanding of life. They get perspectives in childhood and how they were raised, and as they become adults, they start to get their own experiences of life, and they start to put life into a perspective. And you are just in one of their perspectives. I am in one of their perspectives. It's just life. So if I have an experience with somebody, this is just where they're going to put me. They're going to put me wherever they want to put me in their little head. You got to get over that, because they don't really know you. You probably don't even really know you. I probably don't even really know me. It's a life. You know, you're experiencing it. You're seeing what you like, what you don't like. And on top of that, if you are growing and evolving healthy, you will definitely change. Like, no one is going to stay the same. You have to keep growing and knowing what it is that you like now versus what it is that you liked before. So, no one really knows you. You may not even really know you. Let's be frankly honest, but it's okay, because over time we get to develop and we get to learn who we are. So the overthinking part of what somebody else thinks about you doesn't even really matter. Who cares what they think? I know it's easier said than done, I know, but first we need to understand that. Okay, wait, hold on. Last thing, you don't know them. They don't know you. I don't even really, like, even if they were your best friend, you really don't know them. Everyone has a life that you really don't know. You just know what you're interacting with, and just the thought of that should ease your mind, because, like, anybody, like, no, like, you don't really know their personal life. They could be your family, your friends, and it could just be you. Like, do they really know, like, you know, that you like your tea shake it and not stir it? Let me stop. Okay, so the second thing that I started doing was I started voicing my opinions and what I thought and how I felt in that moment. Would I tell you that that's such a relief? Because, you know, when you're bottling all of that up, eventually it sits. right here, and you're thinking on it and you're thinking on it, and it's like, well, how come they didn't like the way I cooked my chimichangas? How come they didn't like the way I baked my cake? Like, did they like it? Did they not like it? Why do I feel like, when I walk in a room, everybody's quiet and the energy is just like cold and I just want to run out the room? You have to not really focus on those things. So voice that opinion. I would say, I would do an icebreaker. I'd be like, say something funny, because I believe that comedy is a stress reliever. Comedy is an easing of any tension that could be in any room, regardless if you're in a high class room or a like chilling out with your friends room. There's levels to comedy, note that. But like, you can always ease your way into a situation by the art of talking, the art of speaking, and voicing your opinion and open up a conversation. Like, wow, this room is so tense, you can cut it with a knife. Something simple, but yet you're stating that, this room is very tense, I'm walking into it. And now you're going to start telling them, hey, so what have you guys been talking about? What did I miss? What was the conversation? So that way you don't feel like someone's talking about you. Or if you do feel uncomfortable, you can say, hey, I've been feeling like such and such has been going on. It could just be me, but I just wanted to understand from your perspective, what do you think? And right then and there, you nip that sucker right in the butt. Yeah, you nip it right in the bud right there. You cut that rose down and you get to the flower. I don't know, I'm so corny. Anyways, it's my personality, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a prime example. I could be corny as I don't know what. Corny is not the word now. It's called cringy. And I am cringy. And at first I was like, felt very insulted about being cringy. But after I realized that if that is just who I am, then it's just who I am. Some people think it's cool and it's funny and it's so different to just be outspoken and just be yourself and down to earth, and that we can talk, we can hang out, we can have this conversation. And some people was like, no way, like, she's a weirdo. And it's okay to be weird, because I don't know, I just think that it feels comforting. But anyways, so basically you voice your opinion right then and there. If something you didn't like happened, you voice your opinion and say, hey, that hurt me. The whole point of voicing your opinion is that it's already out. It's out on the table. It's not there in your head. You're not thinking about it a million times because it was already settled. When I used to be an overthinker, I used to hold all of those thoughts inside, and mostly I think it's from like the whole people pleasing thing. But like, because you don't want to make somebody upset or mad, and you just try to do your best to make everybody happy. But ultimately, it leaves you in an overthinking, stressful bubble ball, and that's not healthy. As you are overcoming overthinking, you are overcoming overthinking. Sheesh, that's a mouthful. But when you are doing that, you are expressing how you feel right then and there. Even if sometimes, like, I know a lot of people don't know how to express themselves, but when you do just let it out, it will not be in your head anymore. It's not a thought that can live in your head. It cannot live there for free. It does not pay rent. That thought, you did not ask for that thought to be there, so let that thought go. I don't feel good about what's happening right now. You hurt me when you said X, Y, and Z. Or why do you think that my pants are not fitting for this event? You get that feedback, and then again, it doesn't matter. You could think that your pants were cool. They could think that you look like a fool. Do you like them? Do you like them? So who cares what they think? Easier said than done, I know. So when you come into the habit of eventually saying, I don't care, I like these jeans, and you start to feel a little bit more confident about yourself, the overcoming thought is gone because you already asked them their question. They may say, I hate those pants, and now you know. And so now that you know, it's out in the air. It's nothing that you have to overthink about anymore. Just make sure you voice your opinion and say, like, you know, hey, that bothered me, that triggers me. Make sure you get that all out, because you do not want to create resentment. And eventually, when you start leaving all of those things in, even if they were tiny, they do add up. And so like the next time you really just blow up over just one little tiny thing. And it's because you didn't voice your opinion and voice what you felt back at that moment. It just started to just fester and fester and fester. And that is not healthy. And that's what lives in your head. I mean, you can also journal about it. Like, I found that journaling about what I've been going through or different things like that feels good. If there is just like a moment, and I don't know if like you can't really voice your opinion to your parents or your teachers or your spouse or your significant other, your partner, whomever, you can write about it, you can journal about it. You can even talk to God about it. You can talk to the Most High. He will definitely answer you. It's just keeping a clear head and making sure you stay focused. So like, but when it comes to journaling, I was in a situation where I loved journaling, but sometimes I even felt like my journals wasn't safe, so I started writing in another language. So if you are bilingual, trilingual, I advise you to write in some opposite language if you do live in a house with person who does trigger you. Next, do not go to bed with a head full of stuff. You have to literally take all of that stuff out of your head. Like before I used to do that, I had all these thoughts in my head about what I need to do tomorrow, what somebody thought about me. Like, I thought about the day, I thought about how I talk to people, I thought about how people talk to me. There was just so many things going through my head right before bed, and I'm trying to get sleep. The point is to sleep, but yet I can't sleep because I'm thinking like all these different things, and there's a lot of stuff that's not done. I wrote my second book, and my second book is called Brain Dump Journal. It is just a cute, simple way of storing all of the files that go on in your head on paper right before bed. So you will open up this book, and I'm going to leave a link down below in the description or wherever this is posted, just so like you don't even have to use mine. You don't. Anyways, you grab like a book, a pad, a pen, paper. Before I even had this book, it was dark. I would just grab anything, like literally like feeling around, grab a piece of paper and grab a pen. And I would sit there and I would just like write. Sometimes I wouldn't even turn the light on. I would just like, you know how you think, you can think right. Obviously it's a training. So I would just dump everything out on paper. But that's like thoughts in the middle of the night, only to make myself sleep. But you don't even have to use the book that I'm suggesting you use. Use any journal right before bed. You check your calendars. You check to see if there was any other upcoming events that you had to do. Write them down on that paper. You write all of your feelings down on that paper. And if there is something that you need to be reminded about tomorrow, I personally suggest you use something like an Alexa. I don't want to say her name too loud because she'll go off. You can use your Siri. If you do not have Alexa or Siri, they have things like Cortana, which I've only used her once in my life. They will help you to remind you. Even if you didn't have that journal, you can talk to her and tell her to make a note or write this down and just junk it. Like literally, it's out your head, it's gone. But it is stored away, so if you ever wanted to pull it up again, you can always say, Alexa, like, I don't want to say her name, read me my last 3 notes, like something like that, and she will bring it up for you. So that is my next point. Just store that information somewhere so it's not here. You can paint, you can write, you can sing, can create a sculpture, anything that releases this emotion from all that stuff that triggered you. I used to paint. I actually did not finish one of my paintings that I painted, but Painting is another form of expression. I think that the five senses that God has given us are all ways of expression that we should be able to tap into. Like, first, I think that color is amazing. We use our eyes. Our eyes are therapy. What we put in our eyes is also a way of manifesting what we want to see in life. And that's why, like, we are what we watch. If we're watching ratchet TV, if we're watching documentaries, if we are just like, and looking at different colors, like colors make you feel a certain way. Purples and oranges and yellows and greens and blacks, they make you feel certain ways, and depending on how that color makes you feel is a sort of therapy. So there's like audio therapy, meditation music, which I listen to a lot in this house, especially when I have a house full of children. I put that meditation music on. It's very soothing. There's aromatherapy with the smells. These type of things help when expressing yourself, as obviously we were using our hands and our touch as a way of journaling, and as a way of, like, we're speaking, we're trying to just release all of this stuff because it does not need to be there. So whichever way makes you feel comfortable, I think that you should just go ahead and try to get all of that out, and you may even impress yourself with the things that you know how to do and the things that come out from it. Because a lot of beautiful art and a lot of beautiful things are created from people's emotions. So the next thing you need to find out is, where is that trigger coming from? Where is that overcoming thought coming from? Another thing that we have to uncover is, where is that fear coming from? Where is the triggers and the overthinking actually being stemmed from? So you have to really sit in those moments and think, wow, this is, and you have to think and you have to feel yourself. You feel your body getting anxious, or you feel that you're getting angry, jealous, whatever the emotion is, and that's shadow work. Jealousy is not bad. There still is still an emotion. That's a different topic for another day. If you do want to hear about jealousy, envy, rage, and like anger and sadness, all of these are still emotions, and they still are valid, and they do help us to uncover who we really are and uncover ourselves so we can evolve and be a better us. Because I think that a lot of our society now is shaming those things, but by shaming them, we are never giving ourselves a chance to actually dive deep into why we're feeling these things, so that we can know where it's coming from, so that when we know where it's coming from, we get better from it, we evolve, and we become better people. So I'm not going to touch on that right now. We'll touch on that in another video. Feel free to subscribe at this point at the bottom so that you can be notified when that video does drop and it comes out. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now we are in Vlogmas, so I'm really trying to film every day. Another subject. We're not here for that. So sit in those emotions, figure out where they came from, write them down, who was around, what was the atmosphere. Let's dig deep. We got to start figuring this out so that next time when we are in these situations, we could be like, oh, wait, hold on. I've been here before and I'm feeling this emotion. Then you can start figuring out how and where and what is going to make you feel better, and how to overcome that overthinking process. Overthinking is actually creating situations out of fear. Situations that may never even happen, but you're creating these situations out of fear. Like, your head is thinking about stuff that's never even going to happen. Sometimes people just overthink. Like, for example, if you sent a text message or a email or anything out to someone and you didn't get the response back as fast as you wanted to, you start to think about all these different ideas in your head, like, oh my gosh, or these scenarios, like what could have gone wrong? Was it me? Was it something I said? Was it something I did? I'm a loser. All these different things, and you basically just burning up in flames in your head when nothing even happened. You have this whole scene going on inside and nothing happened. That is stemming from overthinking. Most likely you have attachment issues, but I think that it's more like you have a background of people pleasing, and we have to get past that. Like once you get to start learning to say the word no and start learning to do what makes you feel good, then we can move past that part of the overthinking. So these are my top 3 ways of overcoming overthinking right now before the year ends. I have a full list of some more ideas that I will put in another video for another time. If this helps you, please click down below and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.